watching KSL News.
We do not know the day or the hour of his coming, but I do know that the Lord is prompting me to urge us to get ready for that great and dreadful day.
Latter-day Saints hear a message from their president and prophet who announced 15 new temples will be built, including one right here in Utah. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Roscoe.
And I'm Ashley Moser. President Russell M. Nelson made that announcement during the final session of General Conference just a little bit ago. Let's go now to news specialist Daniel Woodruff, who's right outside the conference center, not too far from us, with the very latest. Daniel?
Yeah, Ashley and Dan, that's the big news coming out of General Conference this afternoon. 15 new temples, including one that's going to be built in southern Utah County. Let's go to that full list of temples announced by President Russell M. Nelson. They are Reynosa, Mexico, Chorrillos, Peru, Rivera, Uruguay, Campo Grande, Brazil, Porto, Portugal, Uyo, Nigeria, San Jose del Monte, Philippines, Noumea, New Caledonia, Liverpool, Australia, Caldwell, Idaho, Flagstaff, Arizona, Rapid City, South Dakota, Greenville, South Carolina, Norfolk, Virginia, and Spanish Fork, Utah. President Nelson, who is 100 years old, was in person at the final session today of General Conference. His remarks and the announcement of the new temples were delivered in a pre-recorded message to conference attendees. Now, with today's news, President Nelson himself has now personally announced 200 new temples since he became president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints back in 2018.
Regular worship in the house of the Lord increases our capacity for both virtue and charity. Thus, time in the temple increases our confidence before the Lord. Increased time in the temple will help us prepare for the second coming of our Savior, Jesus Christ.
Now, with these new temples announced today, that means the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints now has 382 temples that are either in operation, under construction, or that have been announced like those today. We will have much more tonight and reaction to news of these new temples coming up on KSL-5 News at 10. Back to you.
Yeah, announcing 200 new or 200 temples in a matter of 7 years. That's a lot of temples there, Daniel. Yeah, thank you very much. Daniel Woodruff live for us. And a reminder, KSL...
82 years old. Well, some big news coming at the end of General Conference for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
15 new temples were announced, including one to be built right here in southern Utah County. News specialist Daniel Woodruff has reaction.
Outside the conference center in Salt Lake, Latter-day Saints buzzed about the announcement of 15 new temples.
Just thrilled for everybody.
I was like, the Lord is really hasting his work.
Russell M. Nelson, president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, made the announcement during the final session of General Conference.
Regular worship in the house of the Lord increases our capacity for both virtue and charity. Thus, time in the temple increases our confidence before the Lord.
Of the 15 new temples, one of them will be built in Utah, in Spanish Fork. That will be the 32nd Latter-day Saint temple in the state.
When I go down to those temples, they're all crowded in Utah. Very hard to get an appointment. And so to be able to have another temple down there allows the saints to do more work.
This came at the end of a packed two-day conference where church members heard messages of hope and faith.
I stand here to witness that Jesus Christ gives light to those who sit in darkness.
Elder David A. Bednar of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles noted the church was organized 195 years ago today.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is Christ's New Testament church restored.
President Nelson is 100 years old. This afternoon was the only session of conference he attended in person. But in his pre-recorded remarks, he urged Latter-day Saints to live their faith and follow Jesus Christ.
We do not know the day or the hour of his coming, but I do know that the Lord is prompting me to urge us to get ready for that great and dreadful day.
Daniel Woodruff, KSL 5 News.
Thanks a lot, Daniel. Well, President Nelson also announced a new temple to be built in Caldwell, Idaho, and Flagstaff, Arizona. We have the full list of new temples on our website, KSL-TV.com. And a reminder, KSL...